Hi friends, welcome to the Weekly Table, where I show you what I've made for the week. Today, I am trying out long format videos. Let me know what you think about today's video, the style, the length, anything. But today, I am showing you how to make homemade cinnamon rolls using Taste of Izzy T's recipe. I did post a short video of it as well, but I thought since this recipe has more steps to it, I'll make a long video in case you wanted to make your own. Most of the ingredients I already had in my pantry, but I understand not everyone does. The things I did buy were the cream cheese, heavy cream, and eggs, which don't add up to much, but you also don't use much of them. I am halving this recipe since it's only my boyfriend and I that are having these. I start by microwaving half a cup of milk at 10-second increments until it's warm. The recipe says 110 degrees, but I don't have a thermometer to test the temperature of my milk. The warmness of the milk helps the yeast bloom. It does need to bloom for about 5 minutes. Next, I combined a quarter cup of sugar, 1 egg, and a 1/6 cup of butter and add it to the milk and yeast mixture in my stand mixer. I use the stand mixer to ensure it's smooth and then add 2 1/4 cup of flour and half a teaspoon of salt. I mix the dough until it's smooth again and slightly sticky. I cover with a kitchen towel and I put it on top of my fridge. That is where I normally put things to proof since they are out of the way. That does need a double in size, so I leave it for about an hour. I make the filling and preheat my oven to 375 degrees. The filling is a quarter cup of melted butter, half a cup of packed brown sugar, and a tablespoon of cinnamon mixed until combined. I then floured the surface, the rolling pin, and the top of the dough before rolling the dough into the rectangle. Since I'm halving this recipe, it says to roll it into a rectangle about 12 inches by 7.5 inches. I kind of just eyeballed it until it was a rectangle size that I liked. You do want to have the dough be the same thickness all the way around, so that's what took me the longest. As you can see, there's some folds that I did to make sure that it was a rectangle and it was all the same thickness. After you have it to your desired size, spread the filling on top. I started with the fork and then I realized that it wasn't getting all the filling out, so I switched to my silicone spatula, which I love. Look how nicely it scrapes the inside of a bowl. It is so easy to get stuff out of these bowls. After you spread the filling inside, you want to roll it on the long side of the dough as tight as you can. Then you need to cut them into smaller rolls to make it look like a cinnamon roll. I just eyeballed my cuts and somehow got 13 rolls instead of 12, but that's okay. This is kind of the point where my boyfriend and I were a little worried on how large the rolls would have been if we made the full recipe. We were looking at the size of the rolls and they kind of look the same size as the Pillsbury Doughboy rolls that you get from the store. So we were so happy that we halved this recipe. It definitely wouldn't be a new recipe if I didn't make a mistake. I put all the rolls in my prepared baking dish that I sprayed with Pam, and I was starting to make the icing and misread the directions. I somehow thought that the heavy cream was supposed to be in the icing, but it wasn't supposed to be in the icing. So I measured it out and I poured it into the bowl and put the cream cheese on top and then read the directions. Oh, there's a little dirt. Okay, all clean, great. So I put the cream cheese in and I realized, oh, that's not supposed to go in there. That's okay. It's just the two of us eating it. So I'm just going to pour this heavy cream on top of the cinnamon rolls like you're supposed to do it, and then make the icing normally with the cream cheese and no heavy cream. After you actually follow the directions, you are going to put the cinnamon rolls in the oven and bake for 20 minutes. While they're baking, we're going to make the icing. Mix together 3 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/6 cup of room temperature butter. I used a whisk. That was not the best idea, and I should have just washed the stand mixer, but I didn't do that. I think I switched to a fork at some point and tried to smooth that as best as I could. It was definitely a struggle with this whisk. By the way, if you're concerned on where I'm putting things, they're just going in a large stack to my left. Every time I swipe something to the left, that is where that is going. Continuing on, we are adding vanilla extract and a cup of powdered sugar. I did end up using my stand mixer for this, but still didn't want to clean the bowl, so I held this black bowl underneath it and mixed it until smooth. Now my cinnamon rolls are done and I let them cool for a little bit before I ice them. They were so good. They were super fluffy and they were really sweet. The filling was perfect cinnamon to sugar ratio. This icing was actually a little too sweet for us, and we would probably just combine powdered sugar and milk the next time because we didn't like the cream cheese icing, but it's completely up to you. These were cheaper than the ones that we buy at the store, and we're able to control the ingredients in them. We aren't making these all the time because who actually has 2 hours to do this? We also suck at time management. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think of longer videos or if you have any suggestions for what I should try to make next.